This is the Best of the Left commentary for episode number 532, posted September 26, 2011. To get the full show in context, please visit bestoftheleft.com. So I'm suspecting that today's commentary will be the most controversial thing I have ever and may ever say, because I'm going to defend against several other progressive commentators. I'm going to defend Pat Robertson. So I won't call out the other commentators by name, but I've heard the clip I'm about to play for you in various degrees of editing, a minimum of 3 times. And I think that everyone who has commented on it, who I've heard, is completely wrong. And so let's take a listen to it, and I'll come back afterwards.
Well, we have your questions from our chat room, and we'd like to take some time to address them now. Pat, this is Andreas, who says, I have a friend whose wife suffers from Alzheimer's. She doesn't even recognize him anymore, and as you can imagine, the marriage has been rough. My friend has gotten bitter at God for allowing his wife to be in that condition, and now he started seeing another woman. He says that he should be allowed to see other people because his wife, as he knows her, is gone. I'm not quite sure what to tell him. Please help.
Oh. That is a terribly hard thing. It is. I hate Alzheimer's. It is one of the most awful things, because here's the loved one. This is the woman or man that you have loved for 20, 30, 40 years, and suddenly that person is gone. They're gone. They are gone. So what he says basically is correct, but I know it sounds cruel, but if he's going to do something, he should divorce her and start all over again. But to make sure she has custodial care and somebody looking after her.
But isn't that the vow that we take when we marry someone? That it's for better, for worse, for richer, for
I know,
poorer,
if you respect that vow, but you say, look, death do us part, this is the kind of death. So that's what he's saying, is that she's like, but this is an ethical question that is beyond my ken to tell you, but I certainly wouldn't put a guilt trip on you if you decided that, you had to have companionship, you're lonely, and you're asking for some companionship as opposed to... But what a grief. I know one man who went to see his wife every single day, and she didn't recognize him one single day, and she would complain that he never came to see her. And I mean, it was just, it's really hurtful, because they say crazy things.
Yeah.
And
they see
she finally died. I don't know what he's done, but nevertheless, it is a terribly difficult thing for somebody, and I can't fault them for wanting some kind of companionship. And if he says, in the sense, she is gone, he's right. It's like a walking death. So, but get some ethicist besides me to give you the answer, because I recognize the dilemma, and the last thing I'd do is condemn you for taking that kind of action.
So there you go. That is the full unedited video of that comment. I took it directly from the Christian Broadcasting Network's YouTube page. I didn't edit it myself. So if anyone did, it was the original producers, but that's how it came to me from them directly. And so first of all, what I think is interesting to know is that this video became controversial and started being talked about, not because liberals attacked him, but because his own viewers, Pat Robertson's viewers, his hardcore Christian, usually very right-wing viewers, attacked him on biblical terms. They were saying that he was biblically wrong to say that it was okay to get a divorce in this circumstance. And then the other people who were defending him were saying things like, well, he may be misguided on this one point, but he is an anointed man. He's anointed by God, so let's give him a break on this one. It was an absurd conversation that was happening to begin with. And so when it got picked up by the liberals, my sense was it was like a Pavlovian response for them to, a controversial Pat Robertson video, let's play that on our show and use it as an opportunity to talk shit about Pat Robertson. So, like I said, I heard this on 3 other shows. At least like 2.5 of them use this as an example to really rip into Robertson pretty fiercely. And believe me, he's said so many things in the past that are so atrocious. He deserves to be highly scrutinized and ripped apart when he says those terrible things. But to me, this just wasn't one of those situations, and I didn't see the point in anyone talking about it really at all. And so what they were going after him for was two things: hypocrisy and heartlessness. And the hypocrisy was, I guess, he's probably made comments saying, against divorce in the past, and now he's saying it is okay to be divorced. And so these liberals were like, oh, so it's okay to just go and divorce someone just because they're sick. Like, how heartless of you. The only way I can even understand what you're saying about that is if you have no understanding of what Alzheimer's is, and if you would dare to judge someone in that situation. And for liberals to put themselves in the position of judging an able-minded person married to a victim of Alzheimer's disease is shocking to me. That these people who I listen to regularly, I know and respect them, and agree with almost everything they say, for them to put themselves in the position of saying, I know what the right moral thing to do is in that situation. If your spouse has Alzheimer's disease, I'm going to judge whether or not it's okay for you to divorce them or not. And to me, I can't even imagine trying to put myself in that position. Like, if you're in that position and you choose to stay with that person and you say, nope, like, I'm in it for the long haul, I want to care for this person for the rest of my life, and I promised I would, or he or she needs my help and I'm here to provide that, man, I love you for that. But on the flip side, if you say, hey, like, I can't hack it, like, I gotta go, this is so hard, I can't manage it, I need companionship, I need love from someone else, I need to go and date, and in order to do that and feel good about it, I need to get a divorce. Like, man, I'm gonna be the last person on the planet to judge you for that. And so that's essentially exactly Robertson's point. And these liberals came along and were condemning him for his statements, saying, basically, he was like, look, I can't judge. I'm not going to judge you on that. And liberals came along and judged him for being heartless. And I was baffled by it. So, the whole point of me saying what I'm saying is not to, congratulate Pat Robertson, because, he's a contemptible guy who I disagree with on, I'm sure, almost every point that can possibly be made, politically. But really is to call attention to this idea of, like, when there are, horrible people who say horrible things all the time, you still need to actually pay attention to each individual thing they say. And if they say something that's not horrible, then you should not yell at them for it. That's just my thought on it. And so regardless of where you're coming from and how you comment on politics, like, just don't be a knee jerk. Don't reflexively oppose someone based on who they are, and don't reflexively support someone based on who they are. Take each individual statement or, policy platform or whatever it is, take it one by one by one and judge each of them individually. It just so happens in this case, even though I don't agree with him on anything else, I think Pat Robertson was right.